Start. Well, what's up, guys? Good morning. It's the start of a brand new week. It is Monday again. So, obviously, a lot to get through in today's video. So, obviously, talking about the inghams today and talking about this clip that has gone, well, not viral, but it's caught a lot of attention. I guess you're saying it's caused a lot of concern. I think it's caused quite a considerable amount of concern. Obviously, so many so many people have seen it, and it has caused that concern. And I was talking about this yesterday as well. It was this clip that was in the Inghams vlog from Saturday night. Isabel put her hand towards Mila, and Mila flinched. Now, obviously, a lot of people have seen this and were wondering why she flinched like that, because it seemed a bit unusual for her to do something like that. Obviously, this is one of those things where, as I said yesterday, it doesn't feel like people are jumping to conclusions or making it out to be something it's not, or whatever. To be honest with you, it doesn't feel like anybody is really kind of jumping to any conclusions or making any assumptions about this. All people are saying is that it is a little bit concerning that she's flinched when Isabel put her hand towards her. That's all people are really saying, and I think when you look at it, it is a bit concerning. Obviously, so many people think that the inghams, are so great, la-di-da, 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 la-di-da. You see what you see on camera, right? But the problem is, it's like no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes, or what's going on camera. No one really knows what he's being exposed to off camera, behind closed doors. The inghams have always come across as one of those families where it feels like there's a hell of a lot more that goes on off camera that we don't get to see. Obviously, that they choose not to show for a number of different reasons. The problem with the inghams is that nothing they've never ever seen. Things have never ever seemed as innocent as people might think they are. It feels like there's nothing innocent about this family. They might seem all sweetness and light and innocent on camera, but off camera things could be a whole lot worse. And I wouldn't mind betting that things are a whole lot worse off camera. It's like, and obviously, when you see things like this, it's like you can't always assume that it doesn't mean anything, because it could always mean something. It could always be a sign. It could always be, that could be, something potentially wrong there. And obviously, I don't think anyone is a shoot, or anyone is kind of made from what I'm aware of. I don't think anybody has made any assumptions of child abuse or anything like that. I don't think anybody's insinuating anything like that is going on, but you just don't know, I guess. And things like this, it does make you wonder what's really going on, because you're seeing clips like this and you're thinking, well, why is she doing that? It does kind of raise a few red flags and make you wonder what's actually going on. And this isn't the first time that I've seen something in one of their vlogs that has made me wonder if there's something more going on than what we know about. Because, there is always that chance it could be more going on off camera than what we know about. And with the inghams, as I've said, that's always, to me, it's always felt like a possibility, like that there is more going on off camera that we don't really know about, to be fair. You look at it and you're thinking, well, what the hell is going on? It does look a bit bizarre, to be honest, the fact that Isabel had to put her hand towards her and she flinched. It looked a bit, it was a bit worrying. I think it's understandable as to why people are concerned about this. Because at the end of the day, it's hard, when you see things like this to not be concerned because you don't know why she's doing this. This is the thing, like, we don't know why she's flinching like that. We don't know it might seem like a relatively minor thing, but to me, it just doesn't feel like it's a minor, like it is a minor thing. It feels like one of those things where there could be a lot more to it, and it feels like there is more to it. It is one of those things that there is a lot more to it than what meets the eye, of course. As I said, I'm not gonna come on here and make any assumptions or anything like that because it's not really my place to be making those assumptions, and I'm not gonna make that assumption of child abuse because we don't know what's going on. But it does seem a bit concerning that for a child to be flinching like that when someone puts their hand near them, and that's normally a telltale sign that something is wrong. This is the thing. Like, as I said, the inghams might appear all sweetness and light on camera. They might seem like the perfect family, but who knows what's going on off camera? None of us know that. This is why it winds me up, the fact that people make them out to be so damn perfect, because we don't know. It's like the fact that no one really knows what's going on off camera, behind the scenes, behind closed doors, should I say. It's like there could be a hell of a lot more going on off camera that we don't know about. And I think things like this kind of prove that it could be a lot more going on behind the scenes than what we know about. It's like, it can't blame people for asking questions or, for fearing the worst. Because when people see things like this, they are always going to kind of fear the worst or start asking questions, about why the child is doing that, because it seemed a bit odd that she was sort of lynching like that. It didn't seem like something that she should have been doing. It didn't seem like she should really have been flinching like that, and I think that's obviously it's understandable to see why why this clip has caused so much concern amongst a lot of people. Obviously, as I said, a lot of people have seen it and they know what they saw. They know what they see, and what they see is a child flinching when her older sister put her hand near it. Now, I'm certainly not saying that I think Isabel's been doing anything to Mila. I would never make that assumption. Because I think Isabel's really good with her siblings, so I wouldn't make that assumption. But it's hard, and I don't want to think child abuse. I don't want to start bringing that into the equation, but it's hard not to think about that, because when you see things like this, your mind immediately like my mind immediately thinks child abuse. That's a sign that there is some kind of child abuse going on. But I don't know what to say, really. But yeah, this clip has definitely caused a lot of concern amongst people on I've seen a lot of, as their own Doodle. He has a TikTok account, and he posted a video yesterday of that clip of Mila flinching, and a lot of people commented on that. I commented on that as well and said that it's a bit concerning, which ended up being the most liked comment, of course. And a lot of people have seen, there's been a few people that have commented on that TikTok post and said that people are making assumptions, people are jumping to the wrong conclusions. But in this situation, I don't think that anybody is making any sort of incorrect assumptions or jumping to any conclusions or jumping to the wrong conclusions. It's sad how people are always so quick to dismiss things like this, and I just feel like people shouldn't be. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is that people shouldn't be so quick to dismiss things like this, because, this is one of those things where, yeah, there might not be anything more to it, but there could be. There could very well be something more to this. The fact that Mila's flinching like that, there could definitely be something more to that than what meets the eye. People shouldn't be so quick to dismiss things and claim that it's not, and claim there's nothing to it when there could actually be something to it. I mean, as I said, I don't want to, think that they would, that they're doing anything bad to the kids. I don't want to make, I don't want to start kind of making assumptions or anything like that. But, it's a point that just had to be made. It's sad that, people will always claim that others are making assumptions, but this time, I don't think anybody's making any assumptions. I don't think anybody's jumping to any conclusions or looking too much into things. I feel like when you see things like this, you can't say that people are looking too much into things or jumping to conclusions. I don't think it's fair to say that people are doing that when it comes to things like this, because I don't think people are doing that. This feels like one of those things where people are not jumping to any conclusions, and people are not looking too much into things. People know what they saw, know what they've seen, know what they see, and it is concerning. It's worrying. It raises a few major red flags. I mean, Mila did look scared. If you look at Mila's facial expressions in that clip, she looked scared. She looked like to me, it looked like she thought Isabel was going to hit her. That's what it looked like. It did to me when I look at that clip. What I see is it's a child. And what I see is Mila looking like, it looked like Mila looking like she thought that Isabel was going to hit her. That's what it looked like to me. And a few other people have said that as well. It looked like she thought Isabel was going to hit her. Now, I don't think Isabel would do that, and I'm certainly not trying to imply that she has. But to me, it was very concerning. It's like, of course, when people see things like this, they're not going to ignore it, because it is going to cause, certainly it's going to raise those kind of alarm bells. And of course, that's what's happened. People have seen this clip, and I guess alarm bells have started ringing for a lot of people, and it's caused a lot of concern. And a lot of people have got quite worried by this clip and have become quite concerned about it. And I don't think people have got, people are concerned for no reason. I think people have every right to be concerned, especially when it comes to things like this. I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't genuinely think there's anything wrong with people being concerned about things like this. So yeah, I've given my 2 cents worth on that. I thought I would do another video talking about that this morning. As I've seen I wanted to talk about it, as I've seen that it's a clip that's caused a hell of a lot of concern. And I thought that it would be worth mentioning. It's completely understandable why, as to why that clip has caused a lot of concern. I can really sort of understand why, and it has concerned me quite a bit. But I'm definitely not saying that anyone should report this to social services, as I know it would sound a bit silly if you were reporting something like that, so probably not worth wasting their time on this, because apart from this clip that we have of Mila flinching when someone puts her hand near her, we don't know, there's not really any other evidence. At the end of the day, it's like if they were abusing it, if they like proper actually abusing it, which it could be, why would they show that on camera? Why would they want to show that, show footage of them hitting it, hits or whatever else? They could potentially be doing that off camera, and they're just not showing that. Because why would they want to show that and show that sort of footage of what they do to what they're doing to their kids anyway? I mean, Chris Sarah Renham is certainly not the innocent people they're made out to be. There's always been definitely always been something more to the pair of. You know. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if they were hitting it hits, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't be putting that past them. To be hitting it hits off camera. It certainly seemed like, to me, they certainly seem like the sort of people that would do that. They're certainly not as innocent as people might think. That's what I'm gonna say. So I hope you enjoyed this video anyway, and I'll see you for another one soon. Bye bye.